of 2024. You also can read the bio of the instructors. You got myself, you got Baba Amin, you got Brother Chaz and Mr. Nasir. Brother Chaz just recently graduated from Morgan State University with his degree in electrical and computer engineering. And even though he is a graduate, look at what he's doing. He stayed connected to the community and he's teaching our babies what he learned. Okay. And Mr. Nasir Randall, that's this brother right here. He's actually a senior right now in the electrical and computer engineering program at Morgan State. And you see what he's doing, staying connected to the community. All right. And you see right here, we have Mr. Sean Gales in the middle. He is a K through 12 teacher, I think based in St. Louis. Okay. So you can come over here, read our profiles, and also hear the testaments of the parents. What are the parents saying about the UACI STEM camp? And also, family, make sure that you head on over to Meltrek365.com to get your Meltrek films and books. We want to make sure that we're teaching our babies our history through our lenses, okay? Our goals are to preserve our history, to develop an African worldview, right? To control our narrative and to control our image. So, family, make sure that you head on over here, scroll down to films. When you come to films, you see that we have 3 digital downloads available. When you click on any one of these downloads, look at here, look at this. You get directed to this page right here where you can purchase each of these films and watch them instantly, family. So yeah, we stepped it up. Remember back in the day when Dr. Meyer first came on the scene with Meltrek, I had the DVDs, right? But you know, some people still do ask like, Doc, what's up with the DVDs? But you know, we're moving digital. So we do offer both the DVD and digital, because I know some people have PlayStations and so they'll buy their children the DVD. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat. I'm dropping the link in the chat. Okay. That's Meltrek365.com. Make sure you head on over there, family, and get that. Oh man, I didn't go live on Instagram. Hold on. I just had to click that button. And then also, family, make sure that you head on over here to UACI STEM Camp. .com. We had 30 slots, and I keep saying over and over and over again, we got 30 slots. That's a lie, family. We don't have 30 slots because people are enrolling their children. And so the camp starts on December the 23rd. The students will be off on Christmas Day. All right. And then it runs until December the 30th. So let me say that again because I butchered it. The camp is going to start on December the 23rd, end on December the 30th. Your children will be on with us for about 2.5 hours. So roughly from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And they'll be exposed again to our history, you know, our historical and modern contributions in the STEM fields, as well as cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and coding. And I might pick one or the other because I think that's a lot to pack into 1 week. During the summer, we typically flip-flop. So the first week, we're focusing on cybersecurity. Second week, artificial intelligence and machine learning. So since we only have a week, I may choose either cybersecurity or artificial intelligence. But nonetheless, they will be exposed to the fundamentals of coding. All right, family. So let me finish shouting out everybody. I saw Sister Myra was in the building. Peace and love to you. And look, I see Sister Rashamella's in the building. Sister Rashamella, look, Sister Myra said she was shocked that she beat you to the punch, because she said, I just knew Sister Rashamella would have had enrolled Zion, would be the first person to enroll Zion into the UACI camp. And I said, no, Sister Myra. I said, you beat her. You beat Sister Rashamella. So anyway, I do see Rock City, New York is in the building. Peace and love to you. I see Shaka Rock King Black is in the building. Peace and love to you, warrior. I see my sister Kiera Yuri Frederick is in the building. Peace and love to you, my sister. It says right here, Mr. John D. Henry is in the building. Hotep, wholeness and balance. Same to you. Yeah, Shaka Rock. Yeah, he's spiritual bars. I love that brother, says Fifth Ave. I love him. He's getting ready to drop his album. And I told him, I said, man, when you drop the album, come on over here so we could do like a virtual release party. But I see you, Queen Mother Rashamella. I see you. I see Dejon Ford is in the building. Peace and love to you. I see Darlene X is in the building. Peace and love to you. Let me see who else we got in the building. Sister Marcia Pender, peace and love to you, Queen. I read your message. I hope that I responded. If I didn't, forgive me. Blame it on my head and not my heart. But I did read your message. But peace and love to you. I see Brother Cedric is in the building. Peace and love. Kazim Williams is in the building. I see you, family. Oh, pseudo killers on deck. So Ankh got the pseudo killers in the building. Let me bring on brother Ankh. I didn't already made my announcements. Let me bring on brother Ankh. I see the pseudo killers are in the building. I see Sister Juju is in the building. So let me bring on our good brother Ankh. Peace and black power to you, brother Ankh. How you doing?
In Black African Power, they ain't in the building. They need to hit that daggone link. I don't know where they at. I think I put the link in there. Being in the chat, ain't in the building. It ain't in the building. I'm not gonna play this game. Right. I'm not gonna play this game. I'm not gonna play. They
what you
almost
said
in the
being in
building.
what you said being in the chat ain't
They
being in
ain't
the
the
building.
building. We don't even need that kind of support. You got a crowd, right? We need them up here to support us right here in what we about to talk about.
That's right.
You see, I'm calling out the pseudo killers. They missing. Pseudo killers are missing.
Hey, look, I titled this 2024 elections, internet misinformation in the chatbot incident that happened with the 14-year-old. But I want to start with this. Tell the people how you and I be hammering it out behind closed doors. I don't think they know how we hammer it out. We've been going back and forth
years,
2020
for years. Now you're a lot to tussle with now. You like all the way here. I'm like this now, trying to catch up. And man, I used to.
You used to slam me up a lot. You used to slam me up. Bang, bang,
bang. Man, it took you like 5 minutes. You say, "Oh, use my degree. Watch this." Went to the you got the access. Oh, I was like 5 minutes later. Well, I better send you a serious source. If I can't just send you like, "Oh, that's not the stamp." I'm like, "Oh man, you never been a Wikipedia person ever.
No,
not from day one, not from day 10, not and I not send you nothing. I don't care."
You kept saying that Wikipedia. You know, Dr. Ma'at, it's a credible encyclopedia now. I said, I can't do Wikipedia.
Not my world, bro.
I can't do it.
I'm marking them failing if they send me. I say, God, boy.
But look, tell them how you and I was hammering out on the 2024 elections. I think I was on my way to my mother's church and you called me up and we going back and forth. You like, well, who you voting for? And I said, I like the Green Party and Dr. West. Well, you know they ain't going to win. And then you like, so we just hammering out over the 2024. I can't wait until these elections are over because I feel like everybody is going crazy. Like it's like
nuts.
It's like exactly people debating and with family members and friends and strangers on the internet, and then on all of these media platforms, all you hear is Kamala Trump, Kamala Trump, Kamala Trump, and then in these YouTube channels, that's all you hear. So I'm at a point where I'm like, I cannot wait until the 2024 elections are over. What's your thoughts, brother Ankh, on this?
Well, you know what my thoughts is. We talked about the Green Party, and a lot of the pseudo killers is definitely in support of the Green Party, but not this time. Not this one. Not this one.
Here we go.
Because listen,
I'm with the pseudo killers.
We've been telling the Black community, learn the issues, right? Learn the issues, right? I've never told nobody just don't vote for nobody because of the color of their skin. I'm saying that's in the game too, because everybody else do it. Even if you don't know no issues, you close your eyes. Because I think she Black or person of color. I don't have a problem with that, right? But what I'm saying in this election, it breaks down to one thing for me, and that's science and science literacy. 95% of the conscious community is voting against Kamala, right? Based off of just disinformation, misinformation, and not having the literacy level enough to recognize. Look at my thing keep jumping in like that. Enough to recognize a pseudo. Okay, Donald Trump is a flaming pseudo, and at no point,
he is.
At no point can you have a conspiracy theorist
and a fascist.
Yes,
yeah,
his own people in his own cabinet said that, right? You don't need people saying, "I wish I had Hitler's generals." Look, all these things you play too much, bro. On the Alex Jones show, anybody that's running for president that has been on the Alex Jones show and and support Alex Jones is committed to foolery. So under no circumstance can you have a dangerous person in there like that. Now, I'm not trying to do no fear mongering thing. There are things in place almost to stop a person like that. What they have not accounted for, Dr. Mayat, and we learned this through the pandemic, is a person during the COVID meetings. Remember, used to have the COVID meetings in the White House every once a week, right?
Yes.
You could not account for that nut jumping up there and saying, "Go ahead and shoot disinfectant in your arm." You could not account for that.
No, you can't.
You could not account for him during this debate with Kamala, right? talking about the Haitians eat dogs. You couldn't account for that.
I laughed the whole time.
Yeah,
I
it's
laughed.
not funny. See, y'all think it's
No,
funny,
it's not.
man.
I didn't know. I'm not saying Unc. It was like
It's
it
not
was
funny.
wrong what he said. No, it was wrong. It was wrong. Like, but I'm like, who takes him? He got up there and said, they're eating their dogs, they're eating their cats. And I said, what in the hell is he talking
Yes,
about?
listen. See, you're super intelligent, right?
Like, what in the hell is he talking
You're
about?
underestimating the yahoos. See, the yahoos, the white yahoos and the black yahoos. I'm talking about the pseudo-scientific thinking people. They believe that, Doc.
Mm,
They actually think that that's what's going on.
mm,
Like they really, like for instance, right? The militias, the Proud Boys, QAnon, all
mm,
these people,
mm,
right? He
mm.
didn't say he didn't denounce them.
Never.
He's never denounced them. At least Kamala has. What he said was, "Stay ready and stand down." What the hell does that mean? Oh, I'm just playing. What are you talking about? See, we never know what he's talking about. Sending love letters to heads of state, buddy with Putin. Just the things that's unfathomable for a leader. They say the president of the United States is quote unquote considered the leader of the known world. Okay,
Mm,
even
mm,
if y'all in the chat don't think so, the rest of the world seems to think so. We supposed to lead the world through science and innovation, which we do. Okay, in
mm,
our behavior, supposed to be the example. Okay, you cannot have Donald Trump. No. Now maybe the next, like my man Cornell on your show. Big up the Doc. Big up to having Cornell West on your show. I appreciate you. But he need more finance money. He should have been all over the
He needs some
internet.
money. Yeah,
Should
he
have had
needs
some
some money. He
commercials.
needs some money.
Yours couldn't
Yeah,
have
he
been
needs
the
some
only
money.
commercial. I said, that's the only commercial on Dr. My show.
You know what? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was not the only commercial on my show, Unc. It was not the only commercial. He been all over the place. He
Jesus
been all over the
Christ.
place. He has. He has. And shout out to Dr. Cornell West. He
Yeah,
has.
shout out to Dr. Corner. I appreciate I seen his name on the ballot. I was proud for him. I was like, yeah, but I couldn't vote this time
You
for
know
him.
what? I can't. I'm not doing
Not
it.
this time. Next time, Cornell, I got you. Next election, I can play around the vote. I might go
You
green
ain't
party,
going.
Cornell.
You
I
not.
can't
You
play.
not going to go green next. Next.
I am.
Next
I
month.
wanted to go green, but I looked at it, I was like, that I
Mm-mm.
was afraid, and
Yeah,
you
you
can
was
correct
afraid.
me,
You were
that it
afraid.
might take away from Kamala, which would
That's what
allow a person who does not care about women's rights. How about that? You have women in Georgia now that have died based off of not having the
I did
ability to
hear that.
have
I
abortions.
did hear that. I did
They
read that.
develop infections after taking the
Sepsis.
that
Sepsis.
pill,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and they couldn't get that. I'm saying, so we talking about Black lives right now. So I feel like this. This is my stance on abortion. I don't give a damn about what y'all say. At the end of the day, the only person that can actually lose their life, which has been proven, is the women that are having these babies. Men, you cannot lose your life. So at that point, when you cannot lose your life, then just be mad at her. Or pick a woman that don't want to ever have an abortion. But you can't have say in that. And for all the people that don't think abortion should not be legal, well, just don't get one. See, I don't understand that. See, I think women should have the right to say, I want to have an abortion and I don't want to have an abortion. That's what I think. I don't think grown men, right, in politics or nowhere else on the street corner, right, from the hood to the White House should have the ability to tell a person that can lose their life what choice they should make. I think that choice should always be there. And you know what they say, though, Doc? When white people have a cold, black people got COVID.
Yep. Now it's I thought it was the flu. Now it's COVID. Now it's COVID. And look, shout out to Dr. Craig Samuels. He said same here. He said, I'm tired of hearing about it. That's where I'm at, Dr. Samuels. You know, it's kind of like, it's everywhere. It's like you go to YouTube, you're on social media, you turn on the TV, it's Kamala Trump, Kamala Trump, Kamala Trump. And it's like, I can't wait until what is it, November the 5th? Let me make sure I ain't going.
Yeah, it's on Tuesday. Yeah,
Yes,
next week.
I'm going.
Next week.
I'm doing
This
early.
Sunday, Thursday.
Yeah, I'm doing early voting with everybody else. You know, I'm going
Yeah, go
tomorrow.
early. I already did
Yeah.
mine. I already voted already. Nobody in there. I was there, got in, got out.
Yeah, that's what I said. I want to get in and get out.
I'm not playing this game.
I don't got time to be lines wrapped around the corner and all that
Might
stuff.
get a motivated Yahoo. No, sir. Yeah, ignorance permeates this election. See, people didn't even understand. If you look at the policies, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm very interested in those who finance science programs, right? But if you look at Trump's science program, right? And the Democrats science program, Biden,
Mhm.
right? They're
Mhm.
not too bad. Biden or Kamala, they're going to focus more on earth sciences like global warming. Of course, Trump is a damn pseudo. He doesn't believe in global warming, which is ridiculous, right? But at least he's willing to finance NASA and other space programs. And the programs that he's agreeing with, Biden has not actually went against that. So right there, but the pseudoisms is dangerous for me, Doc. Like, Doc, listen, our thing since you came aboard and really have pushed this, have you, because you have the actual tools and the financing to actually push this vision forward. You know what our vision is, Doc.
Oh yeah,
To
yeah,
make
yeah.
sure that all black children, no matter what country they're from, no matter how they look,
That's
right,
right.
be literate in science. It's in our paper, right? It talks
Absolutely.
about the disparity, right? The paper
Yes.
talks about how you're not interested in STEM based off your upbringing, not being around STEM,
That's right.
right? So
That's
that's in the paper, right? And this is important. So what we're doing is so important. And it started off with that damn Meltreks. That was the start right
that
there.
was the starting point.
That
That
gave it
was
a
the start. That
cachet.
was the starting point. That
And
was the
guess what
starting
it
point.
did though?
Mhm.
It allowed us to know who was actually with us on that too. You know that, right? Those who were illiterate say and were afraid was like, you can't have that white lady in there. We
Oh,
was
they
like,
were
what?
heated. They were the white and the Asian
Irritated
kid.
Genie, I'm gonna say it. Irritated Genie, use wild for that. I will never forget that. I'm not gonna hold my tongue.
I
You
remember when
did
you
that.
called. I remember
You
when
did
you
that.
called.
You
Hmm.
looked in my face and said, brother, you can't sell it. I said, can't sell what? The male. I said, but why not? Has a white person in it. I said, wait a minute, she's not the lead person. I
No,
said,
not at
she's not
all.
the teacher. She's a student. I said, from Baltimore, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. We have different types of students in the classroom.
Right,
I
right.
said, black people are in all leadership positions here. What are you talking about? Well, I don't want my kid to see anything. I was like, what? I was hot. I've been hot from day one. And where the hell is Irritated Genie at? He's faded down the stretch somewhere off and somewhere. So anyway, for me, man, it's just horrible. So yeah, this thing is, but it started with us with Meltrex, right? And we seen who was with us, who wasn't. And look where we at now, Doc. Look where we at.
Right. That
Look
part.
how far. I
We
knew when I bet on you, I knew I was right. And guess what? Guess what the men did in the community?
we got it. Yep, definitely. Oh my goodness. That was who I was battling.
You
I
was
was
fighting the
battling the
men.
men in the community. Wasn't that crazy,
That's who you
huh?
fought. You fought the men in the
Oh my,
community,
it wasn't
bro.
the
I'm
women,
telling
it
you.
was the men.
Men couldn't stand you. Can't.
Mm.
Still can't stand you. But you
I know
just
they
got so
can't.
much cachet these days. You just got so much. Ain't nobody can't do nothing with you. But see,
That,
you surrounded by the army, though. You got the army. You already know you got
oh
the
yeah,
pseudo
yeah. I
killers. You
already
got
know.
you got all the you
There
got
go
the
my
army
girl
there.
right there. There go one
See,
of my
that's
girls
another
right
warrior,
there.
right? See,
That
that's
sure is
another
a
warrior.
warrior.
See, y'all matching with the yellow today. What the hell is going on?
You say you ain't get the memo, Unc? You ain't get the memo?
I ain't get the memo. I know you've been to church today, Juju. That's fine.
I
I
didn't
know
go
you
to
love your
church.
church.
See? No, I went to a play. See?
She
Oh, you
went
went to a play. You
I
look
went
like
to
it.
a
What
Oh,
play
yeah.
did
went
you
to a
go see?
play.
Oh, yeah.
And what play, by golly, did you see?
Some friends of mine, they were in a musical actually.
Okay,
A
all right.
husband
Oh,
and
okay, that
wife.
was
Yeah.
cool. Sister Juju, I
So
want
me
you to
and
weigh
my
in.
husband went.
Sorry. Sister Juju, I want you to weigh in on that 2024 election. What's your thoughts? Because I told Unc
Uh,
and he is stomping hard for Kamala. I said I don't
I
have a
am.
dog in the fight. And then when I
I
say a
am.
dog in the fight, I'm talking about the Trump Kamala thing. I'm like the
right.
Cornell West Green Party person. That's who I am. I'm over. That's where I am. Where are you right now, Sister Juju? If you
So
don't mind me
the
asking.
No, those ideas would be wonderful, but as always, we're reactive instead of proactive. So it's like this plan for the Green Party, we should have been on board like 5 years ago, right?
Thanks,
Yep.
Campaigning,
thanks.
raising money, doing all those things. If we weren't going to be satisfied with, who got those
Who got the
nomination in the main parties, right?
right?
And so that's pretty much what I've been teaching people. It's too late to scream and holler and be dissatisfied. Either you're gonna vote or not. That's your personal choice. I don't have no
Yeah,
dog in that fight.
right.
But yeah, if and you might as well wait till next time. So after this election, I
Then
want
we're gonna
all
go
of
all
you.
green.
And I'm not basically talking about you, Dr. Mayappa,
No, no,
everybody
no. I
who's
know, I
sitting
know, I
around
know.
complaining. Let's go ahead and let's organize, get something together, have a roundtable discussion, and figure out who we're going to pick to be running for us and for our issues
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, no,
next
Yeah.
you're right.
election.
No,
That's
no, no,
how it
you're right.
should be done.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. I mean, I've already casted my vote. I mean, I could not when I go vote, I vote for my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Because born in 1918, you know how that goes. So I vote for the ancestors, those who lost their lives. People can say what they want about it, but that's how I feel. If I was to pick Kamala, it's because I do agree with her progressive stance when it comes to the criminal justice platforms. I am
Mm-hmm.
a criminology major, so her policies usually align with how I align, because in science, a lot of people think, you should just lock people up and do these very kind of unhuman, uncivilized things that really don't work. Scientifically, they don't work. And, you have papers and research out there to show you that. But some of the policies she's tried, which, it's up to people's personal opinion whether it works or not, but I can tell you how that probably went for her. Being a black woman in power, I'm sure she got sabotaged a lot. I'm sure, nobody's going to push for her. I'm sure they're going to push against her. But that was my main thing, because I feel like if we could at least have someone that's going to speak up when it comes to criminal justice reform, that would help, the disproportionality rate. That's one of our major problems, whether it's with juveniles, especially with black men, or black and brown children in particular, especially brown children. And I've seen that for myself in the professional capacity. So, you know, I like that about her. I mean, qualified
Okay.
immunity
Yeah. That
for cops ain't working. That's not working for
for the
me. So those,
for the president and the cops.
yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah,
That's mad
it is
crazy.
crazy. It's
Yeah,
bananas. It's definitely bananas. But
bananas.
I see you, sister Marcia Penda and sister D. They saying that we keep saying next time, and the next time becomes the next time, the next time becomes the
Yeah,
next time.
yeah. Next
So they
time.
like when see, I'm not fooling with them anyway. Anyway, I ain't fooling
What?
with
Let
Unc
me
and
let me
sister
ask
Juju.
some real quick. So didn't I say this? So when is the last time y'all been to a city council meeting? Tell me when the last time anybody went lobbying, right? To do that. You have to do that type of work to be, laying the cards on the table for the next election. You have to do that early. You can't wait 6 months before the election and pleading your case. It's just not going to work like that. So, I mean, we just going to have to have better
Strategize,
strategy. And that's
organize,
it.
organize,
Yeah.
organize and strategize,
Organize.
organize and strategize.
Hmm.
All right,
And
I
don't
hear
You
wait
see
for
the
somebody else to do it. Like pick up that load and somebody organize. Shoot, I'm gonna do it. You feel me? We got to do something. Yeah.
Ashe, Ashe. And let me read this definition. So, shout out to First Draft. First Draft was like an institution or organization that was founded by a professor, and I actually had her on the show. I can't even think of a name, brother Unc, right now, and I got to go back.
who? Oh,
I forgot her name. I'm looking right at her face.
Doctor.
I'm looking at her right in her face. I think she was out of like Purdue or Harvard, but I know she
You gotta get
started
a
First
paper. You
Draft.
gotta get it back on again, man. That was
Let me,
that
let
was
me, let me, let
powerful.
me.
You sent the paper to me.
Founder of First Draft. Let me do
Yep,
that.
you can get that.
Let me do that because I don't want to butcher her name.
Mhm.
Claire
Yep,
Wardle,
yep,
Dr.
yep.
Claire Wardle, and she's a co-founder. It says co-founder and U.S. director of First Draft. And essentially, family, this is an organization that combats misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. And she came on my platform a couple of years ago. I think it was before the pandemic, if I'm not correct, or maybe around that time. But we're looking at some years ago. She came on my platform and we talked about the internet. And she said the internet is a very, very toxic environment. She said almost like if it was a real place, like a physical place, she said you would want to go in with those body suits. You know, Sister Juju, how people put on those body suits where you're covered from head to toe. She said that's almost how you have to approach the internet. She said because you are inundated. Soon as you log in, boop, soon as you connect, you are literally inundated with misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. And so this is actually an image that I took out of one of her papers, right? So you see, she termed her and her organization, they came up with this term called information disorder, right?
Mm.
Information chaos. And you see, we have two spheres, right? Falseness and intent to harm. In the
Mm-hmm.
totally falseness sphere, you have misinformation, and they define misinformation as unintentional mistakes such as inaccurate photo, captions, dates, statistics, translation, or it says when satire is taken seriously, right?
Mhm.
So misinformation, and misinformation is falseness, but I don't want to say that it's harmless, but you see, Sister Juju, it's like, people will post, a picture with a wrong caption, and before you know it, it's all over the internet. And we look at the caption, somebody will do their due diligence and say this caption is wrong. And I'm gonna get to why I'm bringing this up. All right. If we look at the far right, it says intent to harm. So if falseness is false, but no one's really trying to harm you with misinformation, right? It's kind of like you don't know any better, and then you just share it on your platform, and then somebody else shares it on their platform, but you're not sharing it with like the intent to harm people. You honestly think that you are spreading information, but it's really misinformation, right? And so then to the far right, you have what they call malinformation, right? And so they define malinformation as the deliberate publication of private information for personal or corporate public interest, deliberate change of context, date, or time of genuine content. And Sister Juju, Brother Ankh, we see this a lot on the internet where this is deliberate. So they are intentionally trying to harm you, okay? They are. So malinformation is deliberate. So they take something, they mischaracterize it, they put it out there for you to ingest and to circulate and to believe. And I've been a victim of malinformation. Remember, Sister Juju, I was the big time drug dealer that snitched on 17 people in Baltimore City. So I've been a victim. I'm like, wait a minute, Ankh, they said that? What happened?
Yeah,
What
they
I
be
said,
trying.
Ankh,
I'm like, I'll be.
I said,
I'll come
Ankh
right
is,
to
I
you.
said, yeah, I said, Ankh is that, and then Sister Juju, you sending me video, Dr. Mike, I'm like, wow. So I understand malinformation because I've been a victim of it. And just like, with these political candidates, I'm pretty sure a lot of them have been victims of malinformation, right? And so you see in the center of both of these spheres, you have what's called disinformation. And disinformation is defined as, look at this, family, fabricated or deliberately manipulated audio visual content, intentionally created conspiracy theories and rumors. I want to read that one more time, Sister Juju. It's fabricated or deliberately manipulated audio visual content, intentionally created conspiracy theories or rumors. And think about this, Sister Juju and Brother Ankh. We saw this with COVID.
Yeah.
We saw how the theories, we saw this. We saw the intentionally created conspiracy theories and rumors, the disinformation. And so on the internet, you're literally inundated with misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. And the sad part is, Sister Juju, I don't want to quantify this. I'll just say it's enough of us in this society. I don't want to say it's a whole lot, it's too little, but it's enough of us in this society who lack the critical thinking skills, right?
Yeah.
In order to guard themselves against misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. Critical thinking guards you against that type of stuff. So when you're presented with this stuff, critical thinking says, let me put on my thinking cap. Remember back in the day, they used to say that, Sister Juju, when we were like in the second, third grade, the teacher would say, put on your thinking cap. Yeah, put on your thinking cap. A lot of us don't put on our thinking caps. So when someone posts a video and they say something with passion, passion and conviction, we think it's true. We look at it and we think it's true. Or if it's one of our favorite personalities, a celebrity, an actress, actor, rappers, if it come out of their mouth, oh, it must be true because so-and-so said it. And then we just repeat it and it begins to circulate until people honestly think that is true. That's why Brother Ankh used to always say, an organized lie defeats a disorganized truth. And it's every time. And he used to say, but it's so true. So Sister Juju and Brother Ankh, I land my plane. What are your thoughts about the internet and the misinformation that people are exposed to, and the disinformation and malinformation?
Thank you for proving my point about not electing Donald Trump. Because he's that guy.
Here we go.
No, really? Hold on. Am I wrong? He is the master of misinformation, disinformation. He's the one that came up with the term the deep state. He talks about the deep state, where there's a secret government behind the government. He's the guy to talk about the news thing, the fake news. That's that guy. He's the guy that say shoot the disinfectant in your arm. He's that guy where what's the black guy that died at his rally on masses? He's the guy to say don't wear no masks. Remember that? He's that guy.
I remember he did say don't wear a mask.
Herman Cain died, right? The black guy that wanted to run for president, Herman Cain, he died because of the mis and disinformation campaign. This guy's in the White House. He has access to some of the greatest scientists on planet Earth. Remember, I told you United States leads the way in science. How the hell can a president who has access to this, right, not know that? This guy act like the vaccines was coming before they was. Threw everybody in a tizzy. Before the scientists that work with him said that. So yes, he is the epitome of disinformation, misinformation, because he can do like this. Hey, bro, calling the scientists now. You know how he talk. Yeah, so what's up with the vaccine? What time is gonna come? He could do that. Yeah, that's why that guy can't get elected, bro. Thank you, Dr. Mayat, to make everybody vote to get him out of there. Just because of that right there. Appreciate you.
Sister Juju, what's your thoughts about, the misinformation, disinformation, the malinformation on the internet?
Of course. So that's it's popular. It's the thing that sells. I feel like society craves that. That's what we gravitate to. The truth is always standing in the corner alone, but when it comes to some mis and disinformation, everybody is on it. Like that's the hottest thing, and it's weird. I don't think people know how to put on a thinking cap anymore. We talk about this all the time, right? Society is lacking in critical and logical thinking. We don't take the due diligence to really research the things that we're trying to speak on. And I'm saying we as a society as a whole. I'm not talking about the three of us on the panel, you being a professional.
No.
Bobby Bender being a consonant, but you get what I'm saying. Like you have to train yourself to have critical and logical thinking. You have to have time to investigate the accuracy of everything nowadays, because anybody can write a book and put it on Amazon. Anybody can get on YouTube, TikTok, and do a show. So now you have this mix of professionals who are doing it, who are giving who are actually giving correct information. You have some that are fringe giving misinformation. So I think that blurs the lines also, because people figure, well, you have a PhD. I should just believe everything you say. So
Nope.
It's a lot. Exactly. So, I don't think people know how to be skeptical. I don't think people really understand how to assess what's real information, what's not. Those skills are lacking these days. And the pseudos, as we call them, are always outnumbering, the people who are speaking facts. That's just how it is. And we know that. That's when we even get upset. People love to use that too. Oh, yeah, they got more people on this pseudo behind channel. Of course, because let me keep it honest. A lot of them can't read. Reading's like on the 5th, 3rd grade level. Bobby Banger talks about it all the time, and it's absolutely true. You
They
can
do.
basically parallel literacy with those who, end up going to jail or even in prison. And then you have that phenomena. So now you have, like, I apologize for anybody who's been in jail or prison. You changed your life. I'm not talking about you. My mom was an ex-felon, so don't take offense to what I'm saying like I'm better, but it's a known thing. And now you have what we call a jailhouse scholarship, which is, most of it is built on pseudoship and misinformation, disinformation, and everything else, because it's a type of escapism, right? I don't know, but we don't have that thinking cap skill anymore. So we have a lot of it, and society is reeking with it now. And that's all I have to say about that.
No. I appreciate that. I completely appreciate that. And let me tell you, Sister Juju, and I'm gonna catch Sister Juju up, Brother Ankh. So, Sister Juju, this week I called Ankh up, and I was like furious. Like sometimes it gets to me. Like sometimes I'm on the internet and I'm going through my feed and I see BS and I'm like, it don't get to me because I expect it, right? At this point I expect to see BS sometimes when I'm scrolling and I see video titles and I see people post. So I know I get it. Misinformation, disinformation, I can compartmentalize it, right? Like I can say, okay, I can classify it. This is misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, right? But this week I was just a little livid, right? I don't want to call out anybody's name. Look at look at brother Uncle said,
Huh?
here
What
I said,
happened?
I don't want to call out anybody's name. But there was a rapper, Sister Juju.
Does the name
That
begin with Lord or?
Jamal.
Okay, let me stop.
there was a rap,
Sorry.
and that's my
I
guy.
already
Like,
know.
and I'm talking about, like,
I
I
already
love
know.
his music. I'm a brand
Right.
Nubian fan. I grew up a brand Nubian fan. You know, they were really popular in the '90s, and he's been on different platforms. You know, spewing
Yeah, I
his
know.
ideas and thoughts about certain things. But he was just recently on Brother Knowledge Born Allah's platform,
I saw it.
and Brother Knowledge Born Allah posted a clip, and you know he started talking about the transatlantic numbers. You know, they were inflated. It really didn't happen the way white people say it happened. And so you know, Sister Juju, you know, I'm offended by stuff like that.
I'm
So I
offended.
was, yeah, I was absolutely offended when he stated, "Oh, it really didn't happen like that." And then I started
He
doing,
sounds
you
like
know,
an abo.
yeah, and then I started thinking about things, and I remember when Ankh tried to tell me, he's like, "Doc, you know your boy is a flat earther," and I was like, "No, you know, me and Ankh always, I be always defending folks, Sister
He
Juju.
is.
No, he's
Yeah.
not. No, he's not, Ankh. He's not a flat. Doc, I'm trying to tell you, he's a flat earther." So then I
He
started
is though.
doing my due diligence,
I
right?
know that.
And I was like, "Wow, he really is a flat earther, right?"
He
Like,
is. I knew that.
yeah, and I
I've
didn't
seen
know
him.
that, sister. I didn't know that, Sister
Yeah.
Juju. And so I was like frustrated, and I said, you know, like, brother Ankh, like, we need to really. I think we've done shows on that where we talked about the transatlantic kidnapping trade and what happened and the
Hmm.
ships and stuff like that. But I guess we got to continue to do it to raise awareness, because he's speaking on big platforms, Sister Juju,
I know. I've seen
spewing,
him. That's why.
spewing. And this is like, I'm not dissing him. I just don't want anybody, because people would take this clip. Yeah, Dr. Muhammad. No, like, this really is misinformation and disinformation that's being spewed on large platforms. And I'm like,
Hmm.
we have to. I don't, you know, like, my platform is not as big as these platforms he's going on, but I'm just like, do we
You're
continue
not
to
pseudo
pump?
either.
Yes, I'm like, should we continue to pump out videos, Sister Juju, where we explain these concepts and show people that this is pseudoscience, or this is pseudo history, so that people, when they do get on the internet, they see more of our videos, so we can raise awareness, you know, about, you know, this pseudoscience and pseudo history. So what are your thoughts about that, Sister Juju and Brother Ankh? What can we do to combat that sort of stuff from where we are, like, in our spaces? Like, is there anything that we can do more of or start doing to combat this type of stuff?
I want to make an analogy, right? Now, don't put the analogy like on the person, but there's something that happens all the time in the Black community. And I'm going to give you the strong analogy, because it's going to make you just say, okay, why would you say that? And then talk about the guy. Well, because I don't want you to ever forget it. So there's times where children are molested in our community, right? In
Absolutely.
families, right?
Absolutely.
And then the family don't say nothing about it, or they don't actually speak up on it. And everybody know they did it. And, you know, and they grow in the family and let it happen. Don't nobody say nothing. They keep it quiet, right? So there's this thing with human beings that make you want to, you know, don't say nothing. Now, I use that analogy not to put that on the brother or any brothers, because at no point do I think he's actually that. But I want you to know that we got to stop being quiet. So
Yeah.
y'all can clip me on this. I don't give a damn about what he think. He's a pseudo. He's not only a pseudo, he's a flaming pseudo. And if you don't like that, then deal with me.
Ooh.
Come get me. Come prove and verify that the earth is flat. Right? Come prove and verify that the slave trade and the pain and torture that my ancestors went through, that was bestowed on them based off of ignorance and pseudoscience, because it was actually pseudoscience that supported the slave. Y'all didn't know that? Those racialized terms come by means of Europe and their pseudoscientific ideas and on biology and human beings. So come holler at me. I'm built for the job. Dr. Miata ain't got nothing to do with this. See your peoples. But see, I love you enough to know, yo, you spreading disinformation, bro. People respect your hip hop career, but I do not respect your fake science career. I do not appreciate that. I do not think that rappers should be speaking on things of science, not unless they get themselves qualified, not unless they get it right, not unless they become scientifically literate. So just because you're a rap artist like Smash Rockwell, he's a scammer too. Plain and simple. He's out of order, bro. Okay, so I don't think those fake rappers who rapping right should be speaking on measures of science, because guess what?
Facts, I
People love it
agree.
for their music. I love Smash Woods music.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
his fan
Oh,
when
yeah.
it comes to music, but when
Oh,
it comes to science and Egyptian conversation, I be like, really, dog? That's what you doing? You're gonna take interviews from my platform with experts that I brought to help the community, so that the experts, so that the community can see what the expert has to say, and then clip that and make it up like the person agreed with you. And then if a person go look at the whole video, they're like, that's not what that person said. See,
Right.
that's what they do.
No.
So I'm not never hold my tongue. I don't never gotta be friends with none of them, because they pseudoscientists. Now when it comes to listening to their music, I'm a bump Brand Nubian. I'm gonna bump some Smash Rockwells. But all that science talk and all that biology talk and all that, no, they're unqualified. They have not proven themselves to be scientifically literate, Doc. I just gotta do it. Let me be the bad guy. I can put the weight on my shoulders.
Ooh.
I can put the weight on my shoulders. And they can be whatever they want. They can be Pan-African. They can be Afrocentric and all that nonsense, bro.
Black nationalists.
It's not real.
Ooh.
Listen, the Black nationalist movement, the Afrocentric movement, the Black Pride movement, all that stuff right there, yo, it's not what it was, Doc. It started in humble beginnings in the grassroots with African Americans trying to free themselves and liberate themselves mentally, physically, socially, and spiritually. Now it's a bunch of hogwash on YouTube. And I'm going to say it. Get your damn organizations together. Get them scientific literacy. You know the system needs your help. Even if you don't like me, you should like Dr. I should have all your pseudos on here. I wouldn't have them on my platform. Not saying they will come on, but I do not back pseudos, Doc. I don't play that. I tell you all the time, what you doing? He was like, look, I'm giving everybody, I'm interviewing.
That's right. I'm interviewing.
I ain't got none. I'm just interviewing them, and I'm letting them say I'm not supporting the pseudoism, but I support the person. I do not support the person spewing pseudos, but that's my thing. Thank goodness for us to be able to think differently and rationally, because I would never have them around on my platform. I would never. I would absolutely see when they go down in history, they're gonna say, "Dude took a hard stance." See, like a young Pharaoh. We forgot that one. You see, I never forgot the disrespect they gave you over young Pharaoh.
You know I ain't fool with him.
You know he put your record all on the internet. I never forget how the men did you like that. See, and all the ones that you think like you talk behind your back, Doc. See, Doc, they say you friends with that. I'm telling you what they do. See, I see him. See, I'm that warrior. See, I'm that warrior that look right through him. See, I know who love you, who don't. See, you can't play me. So I'm telling you, I'm right here. I'm supporting scientific literacy, and ain't none of y'all got nothing on that. None of them. Not one jot, not one tittle can they do. And I can say what I'm saying because they ain't got nothing, Doc. Ain't nothing they can come up that will verify that the earth is flat. Ain't nothing they can come up with to verify that African Americans are the daggone cowboys and Indians. They don't got nothing, Doc. We know it, you know it, your university know it, any university worth know it, anybody with some sense and scientific literacy know it, anybody that care about their ancestors, right, can take a look in a good book and know that we was enslaved. Everybody know it. But they play this new game, this new age game, this new age foolery. They played around with the vaccines. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying your mother was sick, doctor. You still made sure I got the information over. If not for your mother told you to go to the damn debate. I'd say, oh. I say, oh. No, I say, be there when your mother wake up. When your mother woke up, she was like, well, how was the debate?
She sure did. She did say that.
That's
I
cute.
said, Mama, I didn't go. I said, Mama, I ain't go. I stayed right here with you. I ain't go nowhere.
So I don't got time for that, Doc. I'm saying I fought 2 years, right? So they wouldn't just lose lives, unsuspecting lives by some pseudo eating chicken noodle soup thinking it was going to cover them for the COVID. Taking some doctor say we remedy to stop a daggone virus. Nonsense, man. Nah, I ain't never going for it. See, I ain't here for them to like me. See, my thing is what we doing. Scientific literacy, speaking to the college class. See, that's my crowning jewel. Being able to go to your class, doc, stream me in there, yo. That's my victory right there, doc, to talk to intelligent students who love Black people. And talk to them and give them a message. And they say, you know what? Let me look it up. Let me go to the school library. Let me go to the biology professor. Let me go to the evolutionary scientist. Let me ask them if what he said is correct. And when they do, they be like, yeah, he's spot on. See, that's my see, being popular on YouTube amongst the pseudos ain't my thing.
And remember to this week, right? We were talking about how We don't have to lie about our story. We
Oh,
don't have to be ashamed of our story. And I'm seeing now this black folks online, embellishing things that we've done. So for example, it's flat out lying too. So there was this one brother. I ain't gonna say no names. I don't never say the name, Sister
you better
Juju.
be glad I don't know
Unc,
the
I'm
Unc,
gonna
name.
jump,
say the
Unc
name.
jump out there.
I'm gonna say the name.
Unc jump
If
out
I,
there. Y'all jump out. I'm like, I ain't gonna say the name.
I'm gonna
But
say it.
there was this brother. He's a rapper too. He dropped the album called the is it Master of the Tables or Table of the Master Table,
Oh,
the Master's
oh,
Table. So he
I don't know
dropped that
that.
album, and I like the album. He got a lot of nice songs on it. Got one song about Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, so he got some nice stuff on his album. But he put up a post this week. I was livid about this, Sister Juju. He said Dr. Jesse Russell invented the digital cell phone. So, Sister Juju, I come on the post and I'm like, no, brother, that's not accurate. He worked for a team. He worked at Bell Labs, and his team
Correct.
created, the base station. And so, what his team actually did, that their research led to mass communication, right? Like digital
Mm-hmm.
communication, wireless communication. His team's research, they came up with like the concept and the technology for digital cell phones, but he did not create like the digital cell phone like itself. Like the first digital cell phone was created by Motorola, but in the early 90s. But I was just like, that didn't happen.
Right.
Sister
And
Juju,
you
the
know
brother wanted
this.
to, yeah, Sister Juju, the brother wanted to argue me down. Well, I went to Google and Google said
Google,
that,
right?
you see what I'm saying, Sister Juju? Google said that, when I Googled first digital cell phone,
You
his
just gotta
name
wait.
popped up. Of course, his name will pop up. His team was responsible for creating the concept and the technology behind the digital cell phone. You can't have a digital cell phone without having a base station first. So, of course, he did, but he did not produce the first digital cell phone. We have a habit of doing that. Just like online, they say things
Yep.
like Gladys May, she's the mother of GPS. No, she isn't. She did not create GPS. She worked at, I think it was the U.S. Naval Base. I got it. We know we got it in our paper, and I'm going to pull up our paper. We, she
Mm-hmm.
created a system, and this was her with her team. Let's not get that twisted. It was her
Correct.
and a bunch of, yeah, she was a mathematician. It was her and it was her team. They created a model of the earth. Okay. They created a model of the earth, brother Unc. I think it was called SESAT, SESAT. And then they came up with another model of the earth. And that helped develop the GPS system. So that was the research behind the development of the GPS system. But if you look online, and again, all of this ties into misinformation and disinformation. You look online, people are like, Gladys May created the first the GPS. And I'm like, that's not true. Just like with Benjamin Banneker, and brother Unc and I talked about this. He surveyed Washington, D.C. all by himself. That's not the case. We
Facts.
don't have to
That's what they
lie.
say.
We don't have to lie about our story. We have a great story, and we have
We
nothing to be
do.
ashamed of, and we don't have to lie about it. Sister Juju, brother Unc, what are your thoughts?
Go ahead, Juju.
Well, first of all, I want to say, so it's funny because we always want to holler, our ancestors and our revolutionary ancestors, but we don't never really listen to them, right? I
Not at
mean,
all.
Malcolm X, I believe he said the quote, I can't say it verbatim, but it had to do to effect of why are we, constantly listening to entertainers and athletes, that's not where we don't listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson. We don't listen to you. Like you have expertise, right? And people like to fight you all day
All
long.
day, all day long.
We don't, but you have a PhD, so that should hold weight. But that
It
doesn't. They
doesn't.
rather
It
listen to
doesn't.
a pseudo on TV than to appeal to the right authority. You get
Nah.
what I'm saying? Like you're not, and that's all too weird to me. It's all too weird to me. So, I mean, that's part of the problem. People will listen to Kevin Gates and Waka Flocka before they listen to you or Bobby Banger.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
he's well read and well studied, right? You can see he
Absolutely.
has great critical and logical thinking skills, right? You could see he knows. So that stuff is weird to me, but that's what people do. And that's the problem. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. I mean, the solution is education, but people don't find that to be popular. But that's what I push STEM for all day long. Y'all know my thing. I know Bobby knows it. YT, well, I feel like I'm on TikTok, but the white man science, right? That's what
That's what
people
they
say.
say.
So I
That's what
push,
they
I
say.
push back on it every step of the way. So tell me 10 Black scientists. I don't know none. Of course you don't. That's why
Of
you
course you
think it is what it is, right? But we had great people from even in slavery doing fantastic things, that were experts. And I'm gonna have to say this to you, Bobby Banger, but Africans were the first cowboys. They literally took those slaves who were great cattle herders, and brung them over here. So yeah, we were the cowboys. So, but we weren't no damn Indians. That's for sure.
No, we wasn't
That's
no
a
damn
joke,
Indians.
Juju. It's a
We
joke.
were.
We did, yeah.
I know it was a joke, but I
Definitely.
have to say that for the audience. It ain't just you either. You feel me? Because we were. I
Yeah,
mean, they literally
we
took
might have
us
to
because we
debate
were
that.
skilled. We was smelting iron, different things like that. We were very skilled laborers. We were the ones who knew how to search for gold, like extremely
Mm.
skilled, and that's why they would take certain Africans for their skills.
See for
So
their skills, absolutely. And Sister Juju, I told the brother this. I said my response, and I passed the mic to on because I see he wants to share something. I said to this brother, I said, brother, I don't have to go to Google. I said, I actually read peer-reviewed textbooks on digital
facts.
communication and wireless communications. So I'm clear on the contributions that Dr. Jesse Russell and his team made to mass
Hmm.
communications. I ain't had to go to Google and look at nothing, and I'm not saying that
I
you
know
can't
that's
go to
right.
Google and search for things. I'm not saying that. But I was let him know I don't have to go to Google and look up random titles of articles. I said I've actually read peer review text on this. But like you said, Sister Juju, it doesn't matter in the pseudo world. Brother Ankh, you want to share your
It
screen?
doesn't. And I'm gonna say one more thing real quick. Like you got UNESCO, you got people like Michael Gomez, you have peer reviewed historians and things like that. Like y'all listen to them. You got the slaveship.org.
Come on,
Like,
teach
what does
that.
that
Teach Sister
say?
Juju.
That yeah, slaveship.org. I'm gonna listen to that before I'm listening to any Lord Jamar, any other rapper wannabe scholar. I'm just gonna say that. Be mad. I don't care. Mm,
Sister Juju said, "Be mad." Brother Ankh,
I don't care.
Brother Ankh, you're muted. What's going on? I didn't
You
mute you.
mute.
You muted yourself, Brother Ankh. Brother Ankh, you gotta unmute yourself. It
All
says,
right, so we
"There you
got
go."
Catherine Johnson here. Man,
Creola.
I messed
That's
that one
cute.
up. So we got Catherine Johnson here, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she's important, all right? She worked for NASA. She dealt with orbital mechanics, right? But the thing that really did the thing right here, what y'all looking at is she worked on trajectories and launch windows. Okay. So when an astronaut takes off in a spaceship, right, and they're trying to get to the moon, they have to be able to get to the daggone moon or Mars, wherever they're going at. So if you look at the blue is Earth. The Earth is moving, right? Now, if you're a flat earther, you could never get this job because you think the earth is flat. But since the earth ain't flat and is moving through space, you have to have the proper mathematics to be able to have the earth line up with the daggone moon. This right here is how it goes down right in front of your face. Okay. The animation is the insight trajectory. All right. And watch this. I'm gonna show you. Watch how I take it. Watch how I end up at Mars. See that? Boom. It's leaving from Earth. Okay. You have to calculate the trajectory, right? Watch how I leave Earth in blue and watch how it ends up on Mars. Watch. All right. It's a program they use. She worked on this in a time period when they didn't have that. I think she used the old Greek mathematics to figure that out. See how it meets up with it? Do you know how important that is? Her thing was so important that the astronauts refused to even, get on the daggone spaceship. You say, did she check it?
That they sure did. That
Did she?
actually,
Ho. She need to be in this meeting. Don't nobody want to be on a spacecraft and miss the moon. So when brothers and sisters say, We ain't went to no moon. I say, so now you disrespecting the sisterhood. Matter of fact, they had a few sisters in there. They called them human computers. There's a lot of black women in NASA, right? They called them human computers.
Oh, yeah.
Why would they call them human computers? Why would they call this group of sisters? People don't even talk about the group of sisters. See, that's why you so important, Doc. Education. That's why you so important, Juju. Education, right? Degree, right? It's important. See, and back to the voting thing. I'm thinking that Barack Obama was right. That some black men don't want to vote for the sister, right? Or for the woman of color because she's a daggone woman. I think we have been so filled with racism, white supremacy, that we don't understand the likes of a Queen Nzinga, able to lead. Y'all know who Queen Nzinga was. Queen Nzinga was absolutely a superior leader to all the white males of her time and to all the African males of her time. She's the first leader that was recognized as a sovereign leader. Understand who Queen Nzinga was. Understand your legacy of great black women leaders. So a woman can lead. Now, for all you Bible people, by the time you in the daggone book of Genesis chapter 2, you know, Adam snitch on the woman. It's right there. When God come, it was the woman gave me that. Anyway, let me stop. I don't want to mess with the Bible people. Right, it's Sunday. It's Sunday. I don't want to do it.
I ain't doing this with you talking about the Bible people.
I'm playing.
No, but what you're saying is real, brother Ankh. And you and I talk about this all the time when they make those claims, how you're actually disrespecting the black genius that
look at B Mac. Look at B Mac. Look, see, look, explain the phone call for them. Look, crazy. Just bananas. See? See, it's that. See? Told you.
Yeah, man. So
ask him who he voting for.
You know who he voting for. You know who he voting for. But Ankh, I wanna definitely close out too with a couple of things. One, did you hear about that chat bot? The woman is a story going on, circulating on the internet. I haven't fully looked into it. I haven't investigated it, but I do see there's some story going on, and I probably could do it in real time now. Sister Juju, if you could also look it up in real time, that would be great. But it's a story floating around on the internet of a 14-year-old boy who allegedly killed him. Well, unalive, because I know we're on air. Unalived himself, because he, the claim was that a AI chat bot told him to do it. He fell in love with a chat bot and he unalived himself. Did you all get a whiff of that? And now the parents are suing this company because they're saying this company was responsible for the death of their son. If this story is true, right? Because like I said, I haven't investigated it to know whether it was just something that people started circulating, but I have seen it over and over and over again. And that doesn't make it true. But let's say that it was true. What are your thoughts about that? About the family suing this chat bot because it was like some type of chat bot companion. And the 14-year-old was using this chat bot as a companion. And they even showed like snapshots of it, screenshots. They released screenshots of what the chat bot was saying. The little boy was like, I want to join you. I love you. I'm thinking of ways that I can be with you. I don't know if it's going to work. And the chat bot was like, can you join me now? Come home to me now. I love you, that type of thing. And so he ended up, I don't know if he hung himself. I don't know what he did, but he unalived himself.
Sounds like some type of hacking. I don't know.
You got to watch what your kids do.
That part, Ankh. Go ahead. I ain't want to say it, Ankh, but that part.
Yeah, I don't want to. Well, I mean, first of all, I don't want, you don't want to. We just got to pay. Yeah, I don't want to blame nobody, but a little bit of precautionary tale if the story is true that, you need to monitor. Come on, Doc. Me and you done had this conversation 10 years ago on monitoring our kids on these devices.
I say it all the time.
We not?
I say it all
the time. You run a hard bargain.
You be got the locks, the brakes. You put the brakes on it quick.
You don't play, boy. You
you
don't play. But the kids actually get addicted, man. And they do. And we was writing our assessments though, because yes, now they realizing that there's an actual condition that can occur based off of being on social media too much.
Exactly.
Right. Your attention span is gone. And we seen this with our own eyes, man. So yeah, you need to monitor what your kids are doing. You need to monitor time. So wait, Darlene X says something real quick, Doc.
Okay.
She says
Uh-oh.
Kamala is not a sister. She does not identify as African American or FBA. But they say the Egyptians are black though. And they say the Egyptians is black based off the one drop rule, right? So based off American standards. So based off American standards, then Kamala would have to be black. Am I missing something here? Am I missing something?
I don't consider a black Ankh, but we would be
No,
hashing
listen,
it. Me and you
no.
were hashing it out. You're
No,
saying
no,
if
listen to
somebody
what I'm
say the
saying.
Egyptians black.
Right. We
Okay.
talking about the one drop rule. Correct?
Oh, yeah, I don't subscribe to the one drop rule.
Okay,
Go ahead.
but the brothers that's been fighting against me did when the experts said, well, according to American standards, one drop rule, then you could consider the Egyptians black. See? So people act like they didn't
Wow.
understand that rule. See what I'm saying?
Wow.
So if you're saying that the Egyptians are black, watch this, right? With all they mixing them in, whatever you think in your mind, then Kamala got to be black. See, I recognize Kamala as being a person of color.
Yeah, me too.
See, I recognize as being a person of color.
I look at it as a person of color.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like what else could she be?
Right. Yeah.
But a person of color. But it's just the game we play with our own minds, right? And so as we try to focus and understand what we say in our mouth, right, and then take that same attention and put it on our kids, we be slipping though. We be slipping, Doc. So we got to stop slipping on that. We got to pay close attention to what's going on around us, period. So what I'm saying is it's the little small things, and you know it as a professor, right? It's some small things that get you in the end. It's some small things that grow over time.
Yeah, those small details.
Small details, man. It's the difference between winning and losing and dying sometimes. So let's start to look at the small details. Whether it's in the election, Juju, you know it, Juju. We say scientific literacy helps you do what? Helps you in proper decision making, which is civic duties. One of your civic duties as African Americans,
Of course,
is voting, right? But if you're not literate,
absolutely,
you're just going to run off of the internet, right? So I know Dr. Miata is informed, and she's going to give an informed vote. Internet. So on the internet, that's not how you get informed. So yeah, I'm sorry to hear that with the sister, but yeah, what you want to know what I'm talking about now, my ex?
Yeah, John. Hey, John, just Sister Juju, what are your thoughts on that? The brother that was that unalived himself over allegedly. Like I said, I don't know if the story is true.
Yeah.
But this is what people. Okay.
So I want to tell people this. So when you're trying to validate stories, we do a couple things. Not only do we look at the story we also look at the site it comes from, right? And you can also I'll put it in ChatGPT. Is this a reputable site? Is there any issues with this site? Things like that, right? To see what I'm reading, because you have so much out there.
It is a lot out there. Yeah.
If that's what happened for me, because AI is not like a free for all, but you may have some issues with hacking. The bots may be a little different. So I'm thinking if that happened, it could have been a hacking issue or some type of fail-safe failed. It didn't, whatever kind of security, because usually AI and bots are programmed to not be doing that. So at first thought, that sounds false, but if that happened, my apologies to family. Now for Kamala, I got to weigh in on that. For me, she is a black woman. Let me tell you why. Because if she gets stopped by a police officer, they're going to look at that lady and say she's a black woman. You know what I'm saying? She's probably going to suffer the same implicit biases that most of us suffer, right? They're not looking at her as saying anything else. That's how I feel about it. Secondly, she has the right to identify how she wishes. And if her mother raised her that way and acculturated her as such, then I don't know. Who are we to say who she is? That's just how I feel about it. That's just it.
What college
and
she go to?
I get it, but one drop rule is written in United States law, and that's still on the book. So we still have to deal with it.
I wouldn't argue that. I guess white people and Arab people that go to Morgan.
No, I'm just saying. So
I just can't say because you went to HBCU.
No, of course not.
Okay, no. I'm going because I said, well, what college she went to?
No, yeah, I'm about to tell you why. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Hey, Doc.
Go ahead.
Who do you think would be more in touch with our issues if you had to choose a white person? Now, let's just do it. Let's just call it is. A white person that went to Morgan State around you and your class, learning from you, or a white person with the Harvey? By the time you finish with that white person,
I ain't choosing.
They would have ran across me. They would have ran across you every day. They would at least understand our experience. That's all I was saying. That's the
I
only
don't
point I
know.
was making.
Nah, it's a
Eh.
means to an end though. Because
Now I ain't
usually
talking about that
I'm
though, Juju. You
no,
messing up my thought right there.
okay, I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, I ain't talking about that.
I'm not gonna mess with your thought, but what I will say is usually white people are gonna go to HBCUs because they want a scholarship and they're considered
Yeah, but I say it's
minorities.
free. Yeah, it's
That's
free.
not
Good
what
for
I'm
them.
saying. You
I had
messed
a
my
couple of I
thought
had a
up.
couple of
I'm
them in
just
my
giving the
class.
facts though.
I had a
I had a
good one
couple of them in
going.
my class. I had a couple
And a
of them in
lot
my
of times
class.
they stay isolated. I'm just telling you what I know. So it's
That
just
Yeah.
ain't
like
Dr. Mayat class. She
I'll
ain't
let
gonna let
you
them be
have it.
isolated. She gonna make them
Yeah,
understand the world they in.
I got a couple of white students over the
And,
years.
and how does that work out?
Some actually some of them were my top students, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I mean that's just the truth. Some of them came through and
facts.
I'm looking at some of
Did he go
my
off?
my people and I'm like, I went off, Sister Juju.
I
I
know you
went off. I said,
did.
how y'all sit here and let
Let them get up,
right.
get high. Why don't you ain't the highest one? I already know.
Right. Yeah, I went
Because
off.
they
Man, I went
listening to a
off.
good teacher, man.
Yeah, I went
They
off.
ingesting what you saying. My point is
Mhm.
that it's always been about education on both sides of the thing, man. And that's the issue. People aren't
And it's
educated, right? People can't even see you if they're not educated on your problems, man. That's what I'm trying to say. So
Absolutely.
okay.
yeah,
I'm not
Absolutely.
saying that.
So
So
I
this
do want
the
to close out with
journal.
our paper. Yes, yes, yes. So recently,
Yes.
family, I know you all
BST.
have been hearing Brother Ankh and I talk about paper. We got this paper, and we've been
Yeah.
talking
The
about it. Oh
journal.
my goodness.
Journal.
When did we publish this? Was it, I think it was December of 2023?
Yeah,
Or it may have
last
been
year.
January. Yeah. Like December 2023,
Someone's
January
here.
2024. So almost a year. Almost a year
Mm-hmm.
that we have published this, but he and I have never really talked about it. And
No.
yeah, and the reason, Sister Juju, this came up because when the brother said was spewing misinformation about Dr.
Yeah,
Jesse
yeah.
Russell, I was like, brother, just read the paper. Like, we got a whole paper that's online that you can read about the contribution, about our historical and modern contributions. And our paper, family, is published in the National Society of Black Engineers Best Journal. So it's Black
Yeah.
Excellence in Science and Technology. And I just want to read something for
Yeah.
you. So we had Nesby's been here for a minute. The
It
organization has been
has.
around for a while, but this is the first time that they just created a journal. This is the first journal. And so it's historical, Sister Juju, that Ankh and I, we actually published in the first run, the first volume of this
Oh,
journal. And so it says right
first
here, family,
edition.
first edition, me and Brother
That's
Ankh
hot.
in it. So it says right here, family, the Journal of Black Excellence in Engineering, Science, and Technology, BEST, is an open access, hold on, Brother Ankh,
Peer-reviewed
peer-reviewed publication
publication.
dedicated to exploring the intersection of the African American diaspora with science, engineering, and technology. As
Mhm.
an open access journal, all content is freely available to users and institutions, aligning with the Budapest Open Access Initiative (BOAI) definition. It says readers have the liberty to read, download, copy, distribute, print, search, or link to the full text of articles without seeking prior permission from the publisher or authors. Thus aims to raise awareness of engineering and opportunities for Black individuals in the profession, address issues affecting Black communities and the careers of Black engineers, and foster interest in various scientific and technical discipline, family. So it says right here, just want to read it. Papers we are seeking to publish should focus on, look at this, scientific and technical papers that provide solutions that affects Black communities, key technical focus areas for Black engineering professionals to excel across industry, systemic and institutional barriers that impede the success of Black engineering communities, for example, students, faculty, industry professionals, opportunities and strategies for developing K through 12 Black engineering pipeline. Brother Ankh and I, our paper addressed the last bullet, as well as the second bullet. Yep. Actually, the first bullet as well. Yeah. So the first, third, and fourth bullet, we addressed that in our paper. And so everything was peer reviewed. It was double blind, which means like you had to remove any sign of your affiliation with any organization or institution. So they don't know who you are while they're reading this paper. So you couldn't say, I'm so-and-so from Morgan State, or couldn't say anything. Okay. And it says right here, journal submission is free. We didn't have to pay anything. And it says sponsor and affiliated institutions if you would like to become a sponsor, blah, blah, blah. All right. but this was the actual journal and family. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. This is the paper. I'm sorry, I said the
Nice.
journal. This is the paper, and
Get them numbers up. Get them numbers up and reading
yeah,
that paper.
and the numbers are pretty. The numbers are pretty good. I was looking at the metrics.
It's right there.
Where is it? I'm trying to look. Where's the metrics?
Gotta scroll down.
All right, let me scroll down. Oh
Right
yeah,
there.
yeah. That's cool.
You know, I know.
Yeah, you look. You was looking,
Check
brother.
it every day. He be
Why
checking it
check
every
it
day.
every day. Right there. Hit the
Every
view
day
more
he checking
stats.
it.
Why every day, brother? Checking
No,
it.
I'm playing. Right there, right underneath of
Yeah, I
it.
see. I'm looking at it right here. I'm just
No, you
trying
can
to
view more
enlarge
stats
it.
30.
on. Oh, you want to make it
A
bigger?
38.
Yeah, I want to make it
What is
bigger.
that? PDF downloads. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. 830 views. So that means people just came here, clicked on the link, viewed it, and
Different
38
countries is
people.
reading it.
Yep, different countries reading it. Absolutely. God, look at,
Golly, Bobby.
let me
Yeah, you can
let
click
me
on.
look. Let me view that. Let me view the
Shoot,
stats.
What
Look
you
at this.
talking about?
Look at
Yeah,
this.
you know I'm saying it.
Look at this.
Oh,
Now, look at him.
nice.
Yeah. So 700 people in
Y'all
the
did
U.S.,
that.
Jamaica. Yeah, around the world they're reading it. Actually, Zimbabwe, Ghana,
Nigeria, Ghana. Yeah.
Puerto Rico, Brazil,
Zimbabwe, Zaire, Canada.
Yep, Canada. Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Guess what?
look at
Guess what?
that.
You can't have no pseudo sources in there. So no pseudos will ever be a part of this.
Oh no,
Facts.
no. Mm-mm.
Facts.
And I want to read the abstract really quickly, family, so you know what it's about. It says African people have a rich legacy in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I have a footnote in here and say when I say African, I'm talking about across the diaspora, right? Like continental
Correct.
and across the diaspora. Because I know when people hear African, they think continental African. No, I'm just talking about people of African descent, the whole diaspora. So it says African people have a rich legacy in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Archaeologists have uncovered tools, devices, writings, and ancient structures in Africa that give credence to Africans being pioneers in STEM. Despite challenging periods in African history, Africans continue to contribute to the STEM fields regardless of their location in the world. In particular, African Americans were major contributors to the golden age of invention between 1870 and 1940, or the second phase of the Industrial Revolution. However, African Americans are presently underrepresented in STEM. African Americans are awarded the lowest percentage of STEM degrees and make up 9% of the STEM workforce. Okay. And it says right here, analysis of low African American participation in STEM prompted educators to advocate for redesigning the educational experience of African American STEM students to support their interest in learning. This paper proposes the use of an African-centered education in STEM for African American students. It says the underlying premise of this approach is that centering the African American experience in the STEM education of African American learners should increase African American interest and participation in STEM. This paper describes African-centered education, presents essential elements of a general African-centered education program and an African-centered STEM program, and describes an African-centered STEM program entitled Conscious Ingenuity. Family, please make sure that you check out this paper. I dropped the link in the chat. So some of you, I remember Ankh yesterday, Sister Juju, he had the nerve. He said, this is what he said to me, Sister Juju. He said, Doc, he said, what you got, 2 publications now? I said, 2. I said, Ankh, I got like 14, 2 in the pipeline. 14. I said, yeah, brother, Ankh, where you been? He talking about
That
you got
part,
2.
sis.
I said, where you been? I said, Ankh, I got 14 of them, 6 in engineering education research, and the other in hold on, 6, about 8 in engineering education research, and the rest in signal processing language recognition. So I said, Ankh, where you been? But publishing, Sister Juju, is very, very important because first of all, like you said, it's peer review.
Yes, it is.
So they catch you. And Uncle could tell you when we were trying to get this paper through, it kept getting rejected. And I'm sitting here like, why was it rejected? Yes. Sister Juju, I was like, he did. Brother Uncle was like, that's your boy. Your boy put that in there. You got that from your boy.
I say that's one of Smash rock roll sources right there, boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was like,
they were looking at it and they kept sending it back, and you gotta correct this, you gotta correct
good
that.
conversation around that too.
Yeah, but you really go through a process, and they really tighten you up, Sister Juju, and so they kept sending it back, and I'm like, what's going on? Unc looked at it, he's like, you need to take this out. I'm like, no, Unc. So he
Mhm.
and I hammered it out, and he's like, well, change it to this, and we changed it, and we sent it back. And Sister Juju, less than probably 72 hours, it was accepted. So
Yeah, right?
the peer review process is very, very important. It's like
Well,
checks and balances. Somebody's
mhm.
checking
Of
your work.
course.
You know what I mean?
How
It's
it should
checking your
be.
work, and they're tightening you up. You know, they're tightening you up. And I actually went through this same process with Purdue. They kept sending the dag paper
Mm.
back. Oh my gosh. 3 reviewers looked at it, Sister Juju. They
Mhm.
tore the paper up. But it was great because I grew
Yep.
from that.
That's a good process to go through, though. You're
See,
supposed to, right? Unbiased.
see, in this
Yes,
community,
that's
you end
good,
up fighting
though.
and not be friends no more.
Keep writing. You're gonna be hot, girl. You go.
See, right or wrong, Doc. In
That's
this
so
community, if
good.
you tell somebody no, that's not up to the standard, then you got to fight on your hands forever.
Absolutely.
See,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
and back to the point. This is what I wanted to make when you talked about how people actually disrespect the legacies of our
Mm.
elders by acting like they did something they didn't do. And so what
Absolutely.
I
Right.
see people who
And I
claim to
keep saying,
love
mm,
Shikant Diops, Bill Foul
What?
banging them, they actually dirty their legacy completely. It's very, very disrespectful to give a person credit for something they just did not do when what they did was enough. Just like it's very disrespectful to take away from the Africanness of the damn Egyptians. See,
mm,
now don't nobody want the Egyptians to be African. They want them to be black, right? That there has to be an understanding there. In 1974, the great John Henry Clark talked about that,
mm,
talked about that very thing. He said it's a pseudo-scientific idea, trying to claim the Egyptians as black.
mm,
He said they African.
mm,
They're indigenous Africans. In 1974, the Cairo Symposium that everybody keep misrepresenting Shigante Diop's for, they claim he won. It wasn't a win or lose type of conference. It was a scientific conference where you bring evidence and they evaluate it. The evaluation is never finished. Scientific material is constantly evaluated for more updates. And so they claim that Diop's won and he proved today was black. No, he didn't. The thing that was important and essential, he caused European academia to look to Africa. Not only Africa, but the indigenous of the Egyptians. And that's when they started recognizing the Egyptians as being indigenous. And for all y'all slippery slopers to try to play this little game that we ain't talking about race, we talking about they dark skin, they said it in 1974 that the
mm.
indigenous Nile Valley Africans, right, range in skin color from dark to light. Everybody running around here ain't dark, and just because you dark skin don't make you superior or make you more African. That's a pseudo-scientific idea, and that's what I'm fighting against, Doc. I'm fighting against people disrespecting the legacy
See,
of people like Diops. Diops is in the daggone Met. How many of y'all gonna ever touch the Met?
none of
His,
them.
his his writings is in the Met. It'll be there until I think another what 20 years or so. I'm
Wow.
thinking they're gonna keep it in there. Maybe not 2 man, maybe 10. It's there. It talks about how he brought light to the African origins of civilization. It's right there in front of your face. It ain't say that man was right about them. The melanin dose test was proven, which is crazy.
Mm.
It never said that he proved that they was black. No, those points he was wrong at. You had to teach him this lesson. You say, look, nobody actually does their elders like that.
Nobody.
You don't got to retire them. You just don't keep carrying on the things they got wrong. You carry on the things they got right.
There you go. That part.
See, so that's the disrespect I'm talking about. You're not giving credit, right, to those who fought for the academic struggles and scientific literacy of people by acting like they did something. If they didn't invent the damn cell phone, they didn't invent the cell phone. I guarantee what they did was far more important than that.
Come on.
You feel me? I guarantee you what Diaz did was far more important than what you making them do. So that's my point. We understanding what the level is, Doc. And that's the only thing that I don't like. That's the only thing that's disrespectful. Stop disrespecting Shikant Diop's, talking about something he did when he didn't actually do it. You can go right to the Met Museum, right? New York Met Museum, look it up right there, and you can tell what he got off and what he didn't get. It's right there for you.
Right.
So that's my point. And for that, people dislike me. Ain't that crazy? That
Bananas.
is so crazy to me, man.
Bananas.
None of them got some peer review articles nowhere. None of them. They might be published in the Bleaky the Boot magazine or something crazy.
I know you want to
You
say it.
stop,
Don't do
man.
it.
Yeah. On some blog somewhere. See what I'm saying? Don't play with me. I don't like to stick my chest out like that because I already know, yo, that 90% of the youth that's in the juvenile system, right, are illiterate.
Mm.
Right? I already know that most of us ain't reading past the 5th grade level, and that go for everybody. So the things that we're talking about, Doc, right, is at a whole nother level that our ancestors aspired for. You know what I'm saying? They're inspired to be that, right? The legacy of African Americans in science is great. The foundation of the scientific method, the foundation of medicines is found this in Africa. So the legacy is great, yo. We don't need to follow the subpar standard of pseudoisms.
Not at all.
We've already laid the foundation. This is what when I come in for a little lecture for your class, I show them the foundations. And without this foundation, you would not be here.
That's right.
Without not the plier, you do not get to the moon.
No, you don't.
Okay, you just do not. Without the invention of projectiles and the bow and arrow, right, and the spear tips, you do not get the bullet.
That's right.
Your thinking has to be, I can't just throw the rock no more, which they was great rock throwers. You may laugh, but those rocks were formidable to the Europeans. Read up on it. See, people ain't read up on stuff like that. That one-shot musket couldn't do nothing to those Africans that was throwing those rocks for real.
The rocks, the poisonous arrows, the spears, the poisons. They were talking about the Portuguese was like, man.
You got the best book ever on the Portuguese.
The Portuguese, yeah.
They wasn't running through Africa like y'all think.
No,
they played the mind game, bro. That's why the sister was so serious. Because she didn't let them play with her mind. They couldn't get past them one shot, pow, by the time you pow, and then pull a powder. You done got shot by 50 arrows already. They wasn't doing it like that. They played the game. They played you against each other. They played the brothers against the sisters with the fakeology and the pseudo-wisdoms and played you, gave you little fake trickings. You know what I'm saying? The leaders was greedy.
Yeah, they were.
They decentralized the trade, right? That's the position to be in to get your trade decentralized. Trust me, where now the things you're selling that has no value, where the only value is in humans, right? So I'm not trying to blame them for that, right? They're in the situation here. We already fighting. We already beefing, and you come in and just add the powder to you know what I mean? It's already a powder keg. You add the spark to it. So I'm not tripping. The point I want to make this is clear, though, yo. We have a deep-rooted legacy in this thing we talked about. And see, this the thing that's funny to me, Doc. Everybody say that we science, we natural people. Well, if we natural people, the best way to understand your naturalness is through the tool created by human beings to understand your naturalness. And that's called science, because science is the study of the natural. Simple as that. That is the study qualified, brought to you by indigenous Africa. We always say that Africans invented this, invented that. Don't we say that? And as soon as you start talking about the science, they say that's the white man science. You be like, dang, y'all just said that we invented science. That's the white man's science. They say that because they don't understand science. Science doesn't just pop out of nowhere. It's based off of foundation. And each is another step. And each is another step. If you take one of them blocks out, you do not get to that step. If you don't understand the steps in nature, you do not understand that phenomenon in nature. You can't just do the pseudo thing and pop up and know what the hell a star is. It takes time.
Absolutely.
It takes other people invention, and guess what they do in science? You know it, you're in the field, Doc. You give credit. This is why this is important. You give credit to the people that came before you. And that's why it's important to know what the hell they did. So if they didn't invent the cell phone, but invented the technology that allow you to have a cell phone, you got to give the proper credit, because without giving the proper credit, there's no understanding to the next step. Go ahead, Doc.
No, exactly. That's what I was saying. I was, he's trying to say he created the digital. No, he created, his team created the concept and the technology that enabled, right, the creation or the production of it. Actually produced in 1991 by Motorola. And I was telling people, you can go to ChatGPT, they'll tell you that. Like you get what I'm saying, Sister Juju? Like you really don't even have to dig that deep, like it's true. He didn't necessarily create the first digital cell phone, but the technology and the concept behind it. Yeah, but you know what? They can read about that in our paper, Brother Ankh, because we talk about Katherine Johnson, we talk about Gladys May, we talk about Jesse Russell. We talk about Lewis Latimer and Benjamin Banneker and
Ooh.
what they really did, Sister Juju. Not what
Mm-hmm.
we lying about, what they actually really did. And we don't have to overinflate our story. We don't have to over embellish it.
We
We don't
don't.
have to lie about it, and we don't have to be ashamed of it. I would say that our story is one of the greatest stories told on the planet, and we
It
have
is.
nothing to lie about and be ashamed. But y'all, let's get up out of here. It's been 90 minutes. I appreciate you, Sister
Can I say
Juju
one
and Brother
thing?
Hold
Thank
on, bro.
you.
Hold on, Brother real quick. I want to first just get this out. I appreciate you, Sister Juju and Sister I mean,
Mhm.
Sister Brother Brother I'm sorry, Brother for being on the platform. I do appreciate you guys so much. Anytime I call and say, "Come on, can you come on? Let's talk about this," y'all are like, "All right, cool, we'll pull up." So I do appreciate you all. I also appreciate everyone who tuned in tonight. Could have been anywhere on these YouTube streets, but you were right here with us. Please take a moment out to thumb up these videos because I know Ankh is streaming on his platform. I'm streaming on my platform. Thumb it up, thumb it up, thumb it up, thumb up these videos, and also subscribe to our YouTube channels. Hit the notification bell so that whenever we go live, you will be notified. I
That's
see
right.
there's some folks watching on IG. Hit on over to our YouTube channels, Pseudo Killas, Dr. Oyama. Subscribe. And also, family, before you get out of here, don't just thumb up the video, but share this video. We want to each one teach one. And the way we do that in the 21st century or in 2024 is by sharing the video, right? So you can take the link, throw it in your family group chats, your friend group chats, and share the link on social media. Brother Ankh, you have the last words.
So you got Nomar X and you got Yahweh
Here you
Shai.
go.
Oh Lord, Ankh, I'm trying to
No,
close out. You trying to have
no,
conversation with
I'm not
people in the
actually
chat.
not.
You
So
trying to talk to people in the
Yeah, I
chat.
knew
I'm
he was
trying to get
going.
out of here. Yeah,
watch
don't.
this. Easy work. So this is the thing that we're actually fighting against with these programs. The European doesn't give credit. He was talking about the statement I made for science, right? And we pull up a clear European book here, the Illustrated Atlas of the Human Body. See the European wrote it? You open up the book here and it says medical milestones to 1850. And it says the Edwin Smith Papyrus, written in ancient Egyptian script about 1,900 years to 1,600 years, is the earliest known medical literature, right? And then they do this to make sure you get the daggone message, right? It's not an issue.
Gotta
Remember what he said? They do this. You got to put that screen on that dot.
Oh yeah, we see it. We can see it.
See that? All right. It talks about the form. It talks about the earliest thing of just actually making a consisting of 48 histories is describe the conditions and diagnosis of treatment. Watch this in a rational, systematic way. So is it rational for them to make them statements? Is it rational for Yahweh, whatever his name is, to say some of them Africans were spear chuckers for real, huh? Think about that. Like without the spear, you do not get to the next stage of human development. See, that's not right. Those two guys aren't rational thinking. And I'm going to end with that. Appreciate you, Doc.
All right, Brother Ankh, I'm out of here. Peace and Black Excellence, family. I'll be live again at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Sunday. Peace and Black Excellence.